Piscean collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Welcome to your timeless true love read. At the end of the series, I know I'm a Virgo, Pisces Moon, but I have to do it in order. I can't help myself. I am your reader, Mark Angelo Lyons, Mal for short, professional witch, professional intuitive, say it with me, the president of Drawing the Circle production since 1998, author of Words of Grace from a Professional Witch, now on Kindle, links in the description box. Pisces Moon, the Archangel of Lyons, Mark Angelo Lyons, but you can call me Mal. Hey, my fishy family, my mer people, hope you are well. This has been a really interesting series. The Timeless True Love reads this time around. A whole bunch of womp womp at the end, aside from maybe one or two readings. Let's see if you are the exception to that rule. If you are new to these readings or new to my channel, I actually made a video explaining what the Timeless True Love reads are about. There's a link in the description box for that, and I think I'm going to be keeping that because it was really good. Like, I went into meditation, I got the bullet points, I recorded it, and I love it. So go check it out, because Path of True Love is all about you. I don't care who is crossing your path, if it's a romantic thing or a family thing, it's all about your hero's journey through the lens of the relationships in your life. So, pause this, go watch that, then come back if you haven't yet. And I even made a video about not just how to book a reading with me, but what goes down in a reading before, during, and after. And I love it. I love that one too. So the creativity has been just a flowing here, Pisces Moon, that I am intuitively guided, blah, blah. But let's talk about you, shall we? We are doing a classic Celtic Cross with some augmentation. Augmentation? It'll be a 10-card spread, a 10-position spread, but we're using Daughters of the Moon to lay down the foundation. We're going to clarify that with the Mythic Tarot. We're going to start you off with two Caroline Myss Archetype cards, and we're going to finish off with a Whisper of Love Oracle and a Matcon Healing Mantra card to get you through this leg of the journey on the path of true love. It is a general read. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Check your other signs, because my guides know everybody wants all the romantic stuff on YouTube. They know that. But sometimes it's about healing a different relationship in your life that holographically affects your romantic life, particularly those parental ones, right? You're right. Carl Jung, White Courtesy Telephone. Anyway, so let's get up in this gig. All the decks that I read are always in the bottom of the description box, along with some of my stuff on Vimeo. I've got a lot there on Vimeo on demand if you want to go check out my stuff, particularly the Path of True Love workshops, which is 5 2-hour classes-ish, for about 2 hours each. And that will be turned into a book eventually. Once I edit all the material. So other than that, yeah, both feet on the floor if you can. Focus on your breath if you will. Hoping that they saved the best for last for my beloved fishy family. Otherwise, enough is enough. Let's do this. Please take a nice deep breath. I took a lovely nap in between the Aquarius and the Pisces, where you got a call from a dear friend. Watched some of The Prince on HBO Max if you haven't caught that yet. Oh my god, that is a riot. So here we go. Oh, what a lovely break. As I call upon my collective pantheons of angels, archangels, goddesses, gods, ascended masters of the path of true love, and the higher selves of all involved. Please, I need two Caroline Myss Archetype cards here. What are the archetypal dynamics in the 8th chakra of the Piscean collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, who will be on this side, and whoever is crossing their path, although that can certainly flip-flop around for cross-watchers. Take it as it resonates, please. So focusing in on the Pisces here, what's going on? What is the archetype that they are alchemizing from lead to gold? Shadow to light, toxic to healthy, pain to peace on the path of true love in their 8th chakra, which affects every chakra underneath it. And for the person crossing their path, and let's be clear, this need not be romantic. Could be family, could be friend, could be coworker, boss, could be anyone crossing their path to help them heal, grow, learn, and evolve on the path of true love. What's going on in their 8th chakra? I don't know what these are. You do. Why? Because they're in the title, which probably got you to watch this. Let's see how brave you are. Not bad. Not bad at all. You got the networker and the student, creative family archetype and wisdom family archetype. Oh, you don't know how many survival archetypes came up in this one. It was more than half of the readings had that in there, and everybody has the survival family archetypes, the child, the victim, the saboteur, and the prostitute. Go read Carolyn Mace's Sacred Contracts. So it's nice to not have that. Let me read you the dynamics. The shadow is what you don't want to deal with within yourself, right? You don't want to acknowledge it. If you do acknowledge it, you don't want anybody to know about it. The light is what you are shooting for, the path of growth, of alchemy, of transformation, of healing, that the path of true love certainly engenders. The shadow attribute of the networker, buckle up, conveys information only for personal gain, spreads fear and falsehood as if it were like untrue news or something, and the light aspect enhances unity through the sharing of information, engenders social awareness and empathy. So, you know, probably involved in social media. Most people are communicating, but also the word networking is not exactly new. Right, networking meetings back in the 90s, right? Oh my God, how many mixers, how many cocktail parties, people throwing around business cards like ninjas, right? But creative family archetype, if this is you, there's definitely in the light here about sharing information in an honorable way, right? Putting out, you know, perhaps your own creativity into the world. But the vibe I'm getting on this as well is that really you may very well be dealing with the cacophony of crazy on the internet in some way, shape, or form in this contract. Lovely, though, that you've got a student archetype crossing your path, wisdom family archetype. I don't have the student archetype. I'm a horrible student, a brilliant teacher. It's called autodidact. Look it up. There's your assignment. I'm a teacher. The shadow attribute, arrogance in the pursuit of destructive knowledge. I know plenty of my witchcraft students that have that. How bad can it be? How low can I go? An unwillingness to translate knowledge into action, which is usually what is the more dominant part of the student archetype. In the shadow, it's called forever students in my family. It's like they keep getting more and more degrees, but they won't get a job. That's not me. I started my own company. The light attribute, humility and devotion to knowledge, openness to lifelong learning. And I gotta say this, the grace of humility saved my life. It's in my book, Words of Grace. I learned it from Carolyn Mace, and now it's in Words of Grace. The maiden grace. Please grant me the maiden grace of humility to know that I do not know. When I do not know, but I'm willing to be shown the truth that I need. We don't always get the truth that we want. So, very communicative is the vibe I'm getting here. Maybe not for every networker and student archetype on the planet, but definitely there feels like a good, at least probability or possibility of the exchange of information. Let's build our Celtic Cross. This is the 8th chakra for you and the person crossing your path. These will be the crown, third eye, throat, and heart, the interior dynamic. If you like the yin-terior instead of the yang, the yin, psychological world, the personal level of power, emotional, willpower, mental power, spiritual power. Please take a nice deep breath as I call upon my beloved goddesses of water and the sign of Pisces, Artemis, Diana, Circe. Please, 10 cards face down. We'll turn them over one at a time once we get them on the table for the Piscean collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading. They present here as the networker, understanding that this may go back and forth depending on who's watching this. With that networker archetype in the 8th, what's going on? Heart, throat, third eye, crown. For the student, right? Because the networker is going to be very throat chakra. For the student archetype, one would think that would be more third eye. What's going on there in the heart, throat, third eye, crown? Just one, please. Thank you. What is at the core of this? Perhaps what they may not be aware of in the subconscious, but definitely a dominant influence, right? Like what's going on at the center of this that may be hidden deep down, but probably affecting both of them. There we go. Move those over there. What is behind them? You know, where they were, now they're here. For the Pisces, again, we're really looking at them as the networker here, but could be the student. What's in the past connected to this? What's crowning, sort of orbiting this, hasn't quite dropped down into the awareness. Will eventually, but the free will of all involved here, we'll see if they act on it. Up to them. What comes of it, should they embrace whatever this is, deal with it, heal it, whatever, what is before them on the path, right? This is going to come in, they're going to choose, they're going to decide. If they choose and decide, that's the result. What is the lesson here? Position number 7, the lesson that the divine is really trying to teach them, or some aspect of that on the path of true love. Please leave one card in my hand. We'll take that one. Oh, I should have took that one. I'm not seeing what it is. I don't take kickers. I mean, if something's really got to jump and show me, if I do that. From the outside looking in, how are they vibing? Heart, third eye, crown. What are their hopes and fears? Their destiny hewn from their fate, taking the hero's journey aspect of the path of true love, right? Led to gold and all of that. And what is their most probable outcome, considering this timeline of this lifetime on the path of true love for the Pisces collective? Let's start flipping. Again, you are presenting as the networker, unless you're the student, only you can know that. And you've got the Gemini card. Hina, the Maiden of Blades, which would be the Knight of Swords, right? Mutable air. Gemini, so definitely very chatty and communicatey, if that's a word. Sounds like somebody's name. Communicatey. Welcome to the stage, communicatey. The networker archetypes, certainly with that throat chakra dynamic of mutable air. Probably communication back and forth, gathering information. So that do make sense. When it is with these round cards, because it's heart, third eye, crown, you can't really say it's somebody else, like someone you're dealing with on the outside. It's a third house dynamic, self-expression, communication, ruled by Mercury, that kind of dealio. The student here, who you got? Well, okay. Knight of Flames, the Wanderer. There could be a nice little touch of the shadow here, right? Unwillingness to translate knowledge into action. But that might not be the case. If this is somebody on the inner with the Nine of Wands, I know we usually think the wounded warrior, right? Almost home, but not quite. This feels like something is calling them forward. It's a woman, sort of like I don't want to say with a Romani wagon or a gypsy wagon. I don't know if that's if that is the case that the artist was going for here, but definitely she got her act together and she's taking it on the road, being called by that sunrise or sunset, can't tell which, on the horizon there, calling her forward. So maybe, well, it's the Wanderer. Maybe that's wanderlust and a desire for that lifelong sense of learning, right? If you know, I say to my students all the time, it's like particularly spiritually, if you're a witch, whatever you are, I work with all types of people, that once you say, oh, that's it, I'm done learning, you're dead in the water. Every day is a winding road. May they get a little bit closer. What's at the core of this? Revelation, the Judgment card, the Celebration card. Look at it. Look at it. Looks like women at women gathering. I've never been in this life because I'm a guy, but I hear stories, right? Dancing around a central point in the mountains, except they're dancing on the belly of the Great Mother. See it now? Breasts in the foreground, pubic mound in the back, navel in the center. You look at that and whoa, right? It jumps out at you. It's like, oh, something is revealed here. So yeah, the card of the Judgment card, something is revealed, but it may very much be subconscious right now to both of you, and it is definitely information based, with the networker and the student. The Gemini on the inside of the networker, that wanderer, maybe looking for wisdom, looking for truth, trying to educate themselves as they go. Looks like the answers are within. Now, of course, if something is revealed, see, people may not get the connection of the Judgment card to Revelation. Traditional Rider-Waite Tarot. You're looking at Archangel Gabriel on Judgment Day. Right, the Judgment card, which takes place where? In the book of Revelations. So this is a goddess deck. This is a feminist deck. It's not turning to patriarchal imagery. Really, she did a great job with this idea of women coming together, feminine energies coming together to reveal what is always here, but we don't always see, right? The love that we are actually living on our Mother Earth. Coming from a place of play, sort of digging that, the Bastet card. Six of Flames is the Six of Wands, usually considered victory, except the Seven of Wands in this deck is called victory. I have a nice relationship with the goddess Bastet. Me having my 3 little black cat boys, if you were following me on Instagram or Facebook, always posting pictures of my boys. Very, very playful, very, very solar, and very, very creative. This could even be that sort of romantic, fun, sexual vibe that comes with that sort of feline, playful, maybe even cat and mouse, so to speak, dynamic there in the past. And what's crowning this? The Eight of Pentacles, the learner. This card has come up so many times in this series. And I know we think of Eight of Pentacles as put down your head and keep working, just keep working, working, working. This is about translating knowledge into wisdom through experience. That's why you have a crone here teaching a maiden how to weave a blanket. And there is one of the blankets that the crone wove. That's a little hard to say. To show, like, look, honey, I've been doing this before you even drew breath, right? Passing on that wisdom. So taking yourself from that place of the maiden here saying, I am learning stuff here. I am the learner. And I think with the student there, that's sort of right on. It could be that this student is learning from you, the networker, through your communications, though it may not be a formal teacher-student deal. Because if we have the teacher and the student, which I don't think has ever really come up in any of my readings, if that is literal teacher-student, it's too much of a power dynamic. But certainly this person has a thirst for wisdom, and it feels like they are, if they haven't yet, they're really acknowledging that there's a learning here, that you're both learning as you go. I feel that symmetry here. But at the same time, they're maybe on a different path, a different journey than you. Although you're both headed in the same direction, if we go with how these cards, right? Like Hina's flying in the same direction that the wagon is pointed. Well, let's see, what comes of that? The Dreamer, the Fool. This is the Fool card, but certainly imaged differently than somebody jumping off a cliff. Here we have a woman with her horse at a river bend, tracing patterns in the water, dreaming. The Fool card is the 0 card. It is not the first card of the major arcana. That would be the Magician card number 1. The 0 represents that space, the gap between the old and the new, right? The gap between the worlds. Witches walk between the worlds. Familiar with that gap? That's probably just me. I had coffee with half and half before I jumped on here. So, yeah, a leap of faith, but also, and it's whoever I'm reading for here, it's like, as a result, you two might have just met, right? There's something underneath all of this that is yet to be revealed. Fate, destiny, call it what you want. Definitely a strong connection here. You're both learning, but it feels like there's something much stronger here developing. It's almost like I want to say that what's going to be revealed here won't be revealed just yet, but here starts the cycle, right? Finishing up one cycle and beginning another. Now, granted, there is the card of the universe after the card of judgment here. In this deck, Shakti, the life dancer. We'll see if she pops up. But definitely in terms of internal dynamic, if we look at just the Pisces as this, aside from the student there, that there is that dreamy quality. There is something here that needs to be revealed, that Pisces are so intuitive. They're like, I don't know what this is. I don't know what this is, but I want to talk about it. I want to talk to this person. I want to see where this goes. And it feels like they do too. Networker and a student, though, there's got to be some communication in here, and we'll see that in the next 10 cards we lay down here. Your lesson is a Sagittarian lesson. Now, again, this is a court card. It is the Crone of Flames, which would translate into the Knight of Wands, the Sagittarius mutable fire. So with the gods, the angels, whatever, your lesson on the path of true love here very much has to do with expansion. Ninth house dynamic, Sagittarius dynamic, is about mutable fire, as I said, ruled by Jupiter. Expansion, spirituality, right? Travel, you know, like let's travel the world, let's expand our minds. And certainly with that networker and the student there, the two of you could really be learning about a much larger context, not just to your lives, but perhaps this relationship. I mean, this certainly could be a student-teacher situation here, which, you know, like I said, is off the table for me. I will not be involved in romantic relationships with my students. It's just, no. No, my solar plexus says no. But definitely it seems like you're both moving somewhat in the same direction, different paths to the same destination. But there's definitely some movement and a lot of desires here, mutable, perhaps changing. So perhaps there is a change in desire here. This could be friends into romance, or spiritual sister, brother into lover. We're all brothers and sisters. So just clarify that. We're not getting icky on my channel. From the outside looking in, you are definitely feeling like there is a solid foundation here in the making. I love this card. Three of Pentacles, clay woman. She takes the dirt beneath her feet, sorts out the clay, sculpts it into something beautiful and practical, but this is the stage right before she puts it in the kiln, the K-I-L-N, right? Into the oven to make it something fixed. This is definitely a Virgo card for me because clay is mutable earth. Virgo is mutable earth. Not saying that you're necessarily a Virgo here, but it's like if we were to walk up to you and talk to you about this, you'd be like, well, you know, it's sort of like this, like your heart, third eye crown, sort of massaging the clay, kind of working it into a nice solid foundation, but it still has to be hardened, baked. So formulation is the word they just gave me. I like it. Very creative with that creative family archetype. All right. Your destiny comes right now with the Taurus card on the inner. What are your life values? Taurus, fixed earth, second house. Yes, prosperity and abundance, durable goods, a car, a house, not like, you know, toilet paper. That is a disposable good, not a durable good. And it's really bad if you don't have it in the house. But this is what is important to me. What are my lifelong bedrock values, right? To me, honesty is a huge one because I've been lied to so much by so many people. Somebody comes to me and they're being totally honest with me. I don't care what they say. I might get triggered, I might not. But I'd rather they be honest, right? That is a lifelong value for me and a hard-worn one. And the great corn mother here, it is something that feeds your soul, right? It feels like your foundations here are very strong. Like where you are on the path of true love, it's like your values. I'm going to say that if you're the networker here, then you're really in that light, right? You're in that light part of it, right? It enhances unity through the sharing of information, not division, right? And if you are the student there, it is that foundation of, I just want to keep learning. Like the more I keep learning, the more I keep healing, the more I keep growing, the more I keep growing, the more I keep learning as a lifelong value. Most probable outcome? All right. The Aquarius card. Now, I'm just going to say, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4 court cards inside of you. This is very zodiacally based. I would certainly have your chart looked at. Not that these signs necessarily are dominant there, but I know for sure, I was just on the phone with an Aquarian friend of mine who's just busy. He's in the tech field, and people are opening up their offices and closing them down and opening them up. It's sort of nuts here on Long Island that way. And the thing is he's a dear friend, but he's always busy. So Aquarians often pull back. They're great friends, but it's about seeing the larger picture, right? Fixed air, 11th house dynamic. You read about the 11th house. Aquarius is the 11th sign, so it's in its 11th house. It's about humanitarianism and how you interact with the world, right? The internet is very Aquarian. Took all these things, these different people in different countries, and brought them all together like that, right? Instantly. Really connected humanity for better or for worse, depending, particularly with the networker there. So I feel like the outcome on this one, and again, this is you inside, heart, third eye, crown, is not necessarily pulling back as much as pulling back and pulling up to see a larger picture here. Ixchel, the Crone of Blades, this would be the Queen of Swords. By the way, this Taurus is the Queen of Pentacles. We are looking at flying high. Eagles fly highest, see furthest, although technically that's the albatross, but it doesn't make for good art like the eagle does. Carrying a pair of scissors. You don't believe me? See the scissors? You know, she's not going to trim the bird. It sounds dirty. I don't think it is. But to cut away that which does not serve, and that can very much be about belief system. That can be very, very mental, but as we know from the Queen of Swords, she can also be a bit of, what's the word I'm looking for there? A little cold. Let's leave that there. Analytical, maybe a bit more head over heart. Let's see what this looks like on the outer, my beloved mythic tarot, Juliet Sherman Burke. I used to read this deck back in Boston in the 80s. I know. I'm 52. I'm going to be 53. I know I don't look at things. Let's see what this looks like on the outer lower 3 chakras, completing, right? We got the 8th chakra with the archetypes, heart, third eye, crown. This will be solar plexus, sacrum, and root. Really, on the path of true love, finding your alignment within yourself on the path is the key. Yeah. Simple, not easy. Please take a nice deep breath. As I call upon my gods of water and the sign of Pisces, please, 10 cards, we'll do them one at a time, face up, to clarify what we've got on the table here so far for the Pisces collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading on the timeless path of true love that they find themselves on when they're watching this. The Pisces represents as the networker in the 8th chakra, the Gemini, heart, third eye, crown, very throat chakra there, very networker. What's this look like from the outside looking in? Page of Pentacles. You're either receiving from this student a potential offer, a seed, like the Ace of Pentacles is just a seed. It's not, you know, a whole orchard. It's just a seed. You could be offering this to them. It could be a nugget of information, but it does feel like something physical, tangible here, in that this could be an opportunity to take action, to bring something into physical form here. How about that student crossing their path, right? They got the student in the 8th, wanderer, 9 of flames, 9 of wands on the inside. What's that look like on the outside? A silver plate. Is that one card? I'll take that one. Yeah, Queen of Cups. The Scorpio card on the outside, I'm going to say this person is presenting as the Queen of Cups, the Scorpio energy, perhaps a little hidden, perhaps a little subconscious, perhaps a little not necessarily giving up what they're learning. It feels like the sharing energy of the communication is more on your side. That would really be you presenting that Pentacles in a message, the Page of Pentacles, but they're a little certainly there are emotions going on there, right? There are other cards that could have said they're just not talking. There are feelings here, and they're very, very deep, and I think they're a little afraid of revealing it, right? This card of celebration, the Judgment card, but yet they are on this journey of the wanderer inside. It's like, I don't think they're wandering away from you. I just think they're not really, really, really sure either about how they feel about you. Maybe this is romantic, maybe it's not. It's like you can have feelings about a family member you don't want to talk about either. But they're on a journey, right? And it might be that journey is about them gathering the information they need within themselves. A little introspection, or maybe a lot of introspection, because it is the Nine of Flames. They're almost there. So what's going on with this celebration card? The Judgment card, the Revelation card at the core of this. Can you give us a little hint what this looks like? The Fool. Major Arcana double whammy here. So on the inner, there is this full circle, right? The card after this would be the universe, the world. Then you get the Fool. So it feels like this is definitely the impulse to take a leap of faith here. I mean, the shadow side of the student, put the destructive knowledge part aside for a minute, right? Inability to kind of put this into action. And I think there's something going on inside of both of you where you're both getting the impulse to make a move toward each other. If you have not met, then this is following your intuition, plain and simple. My sense is that you know this person. And therefore, to start a new cycle, but there are things yet to be revealed. So it's, what is this feeling? All right, so they're giving me a slingshot. Usually it's a bow and arrow. This time, for some reason, it's a slingshot, right? So you pull it back, and there's all this tension for it to be revealed. That would be the Fool moment, letting it go. But it's being repressed. It's either being repressed or you're both unaware that you're feeling that same thing. It's that thing of, oh, I really should call that person. Oh, I can't right now, I'm busy. 24 hours later, oh yeah, I forgot I gotta call them. Oh, something else distracts you. That happens in life. That's a divine timing thing. I don't know, I feel like you're ready to reach out with that Page of Pentacles, but with that Queen of Cups, they might not be ready to. I don't think they ghosted you. I just think they're trying to figure out what they're feeling here for you. They're wandering in their emotions here. All right, we got that Play card in the past. Now, really, that's for the Pisces or whoever it is I'm reading for here. So this is coming from a playful, fun place. Balanced desire, right? So it wasn't at the expense of anybody, right? It's very playful, very light, right? Very solar. At least you're feeling that way, or we're feeling that way, which is why the communication of, hey, want to hang out? Want to do this? Want to do that? And maybe you're just not hearing from them. They are on this internal journey. So what is this play on the inner? What does that look like on the outer? Where they have been? Well, the Empress. Somebody was presenting as the ultimate divine feminine, true love, divine feminine experience here, the mother, the wife, regardless of gender, a lot of abundance, a lot of unconditional love, and very playful. This feels really good. And you've got the Fool here on the outer underneath it, right? And it's coming for you in your 6th position here as the Fool again. Okay. This is definitely a slingshot. This was really, really pulled back, and it hasn't been released yet. It has not been released yet, but you didn't do anything wrong. I don't think that they're ducking and covering. I think they're really actually learning about themselves, a student of self, if that's a thing. And with that learner here hovering above it all, if you can both embrace, or at least if you can embrace that at 8 of Pentacles, it's like, no, I'm learning something here. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm not supposed to know what's going to happen. It ain't much of a leap of faith if you have a guarantee with how it turns out, right? Think of how the great prophets of the world would have, P-R-O-P-H-E-T. Oh yeah, Moses. Set my people free, but you don't actually make it and you wander in the desert for 40 years. I would have been Pharaoh, rather, right? horrible reference, but I think you get what I'm saying there. Nobody knows what's going to happen. Even the great masters didn't know what was going to come of them until they did. So what covers that crown there, that Eight of Pentacles learner on the inner? What does this look like on the outer? Page of Swords. We now have 2 pages on the table. One communicating an opportunity. Hey, you wanna? Something in the physical world. And this is definitely a communication, but one that you are learning how to make. I'm going to say this is more, particularly if you've already offered this and you haven't heard from them. Yeah, I mean, I get with the networker, you know, watching their social media feed, and I get the temptation. But, you know, how many people post exactly what's going on in their lives accurately on social media? So yeah, maybe there is some internet searching going on here, and you are learning some things from it if you choose to go. That's the thing with the 5th position. It orbits. It has to be chosen to be brought into. And I feel like with that Page of Swords as well, that's Aeolus. That's, I think, the West Wind, one of the gods of the 4 winds there. I would think it would be East, element of air, but I could be wrong about that. Really communicating, but communicating perhaps from a place of somebody saying to the other person, yeah, I'm learning here. I'm learning a lot, and I want to talk. I want to talk. Can we talk? Let's just talk. You want to talk? Can we talk? Leading you to this full moment on the inside. Like, I get that the situation is that something will be revealed that is going to be a major jump forward, a leap of faith. Here, that leap of faith is internalized for you. As the dreamer, you might be dreaming of what this journey is going to be like, which definitely lends itself more to the romantic vibe here. What does that look like on the outer? King of Cups. Now, right next to the Queen of Cups, I'm going to say that's a couple. But this is emotional maturity, too. I was raised by a Cancerian mother, so I had to study the Cancerian vibe to understand what the hell was going on, because you don't always know what they're feeling. Right? They can be moody. You never know what triggers their moods. I love my mom. Can't wait to see her in a couple of weeks. But crabs don't move like this. They move like this, right? They tack back and forth. They just don't charge ahead. So this is like what? A crab step off the cliff, right? It's about emotional maturity here, and it might be you being perhaps the more emotionally, I mean, I don't want to say he's more emotionally mature than the Queen of Cups. That's misogynistic. But that Cancerian energy is not as secretive as Scorpio. There's a bit more of, creative water, cardinal water, your creative archetype, creative family archetype, at least with that networker in the 8th chakra here. So there's going to be some communication, but it might be a little bit guarded, and it might be a little bit emotional. Sharing your dreams with people are tricky. I'm going to tell you why. Don't share your dreams, your great big huge dreams. I don't mean your sleepy dreams. I mean, oh, I would love to do, oh, if only I could, that kind of stuff. Wouldn't it be nice if... don't share it with people who care about you, because if it has any risk at all, they will pop the bubble. It's just how that works. But it does feel like you are perhaps not really putting out exactly what you're feeling about this person, particularly if they're in the Queen of Cups and you're in the King of Cups. I wouldn't say it's a stalemate, and I'm not feeling ghosting here. But I am getting that there's an emotional tension here, which is lending itself to the revelation of this. Something's going to be presented here, and I feel like someone's gonna take the jump off the cliff here. Now, we've got 2 pages on the table here. This could be communication back and forth, but maybe you're offering the Page of Pentacles, and what comes in is a Page of Swords. Now, I know there are no pages in Daughters of the Moon. That's right. So it's not like we can have 2 Page of Pentacles and 2 Page of Cups in this spread, but it feels like you give them something solid and they give you something theoretical. Yeah, sure, let's do that. That sounds great. Gotta go, bye. And I feel like that's why they're on this internal journey. They're just not sure. I don't think it's sure about you. I think it's just sure about where they're not so sure about where they are, right? In that place of they're still learning stuff, as are we all. Well, let's look at the lesson. Since we've got the learner and the student on the table, that Sagittarius, that fire, really get in touch with the desires, the things that you want that make you feel expansive. Freedom is a great, big, huge Sagittarian 9th house vibe. Certainly can be more along the spiritual bend. What does this look like? I could get that saying this is an expansive, freeing spiritual lesson that you're in. And the lesson's about the Three of Wands. What are you willing to wait for? What are you willing to wait for? Are you willing to wait for someone at the expense of your own sanity? I'm not necessarily saying that's on the table, but I know what that's like. Yeah, sure, I'll get back to you. It sounds great. Years go by, right? Are you willing? Are you willing? I don't think this person is afraid of commitment necessarily, but they might be trying to like study up and get ready in some way. Where do your ultimate loyalties lie? I mean, Three of Wands, a decision has already been made. Now it's just sort of the planning stage, right? Putting it into action. This is Jason and the Argonauts. He made the decision to take the quest and now is sort of putting it together, has the loyalty of a king to back him up here to help him on that quest. Just sort of looking at this and feeling this out here. The lesson, yeah, is about probably, like, all right, Jan Van Zandt, In the Meantime. Great book. It's where I learned the healthy loyalty structure. The divine first, then you, then friends and family, then work. Though we're taught work first, then friends and family, then you, and now I lay me down to sleep. It's a little late, right? Start the day with the divine. What are your priorities here? What are you willing to wait for? What are you willing to, I won't say kneel down or bow down to, but willing to give your loyalty to? Well, that could be very mutable. I'm kind of seeing this card differently here. From the outside looking in, work in process, work in progress. We have good clay, right? We have the oven, we have the tools to take the dirt beneath our feet and make something beautiful and practical here, but will we? Inside, what does this look like from the outside looking in? That is 2 cards, please. It's not the humidity. It's not the hate. It's the humidity. What's this look like on the outside for my Pisceans? Yeah, no, 8 of Swords. Rocking a hard place mentally. I don't think there's enough communication going on here where nobody is laying their cards on the table. Pardon the pun, the metaphor, the simile, however you want to take that. Yeah, that 8 of Swords, there are some belief systems in play here. I don't think you're getting accurate information, or maybe you're not putting out the whole story, which I understand. If it's a new situation, you know, something romantic, someone dating, you don't want to tell them everything in a text message. But I also feel like there are some missing pieces of the puzzle here, hence something needs to be revealed here for this to get off the ground, for that leap of faith. I mean, it is the mental prison, the 8 of Swords, blindfolded and bound. So get that you don't have all the information. Do not jump to conclusions on this either way. Oh, it's my true love, or an asshole, right? Usually the truth is somewhere in between, right? Certainly someone crossing your path that, if you are the networker here that thrives on information and hopefully valid, truthful information, this could be making you a little cuckoo. A little, I don't know what to think, but I can't stop thinking about it. Not so much the 9 of Swords keeping you up at night, but something like, yeah, what's with that? What is with that? This feels good. Why are we not, why can't we meet for coffee? Or why aren't we communicating? I don't get it. And you know, this is caught between the Furies and Apollo. Not a good place to be. Let's look here. Your destiny comes from really grounding yourself in your life values. That Taurus card, nurturing yourself, nourishing yourself. What are the values that nourish you? What is a bedrock importance? Fixed earth. that Taurus card here. So on the path of true love comes the Tower. You are going to have such a revelation that there is a piece of information coming in, a truth that is really going to either change your lifelong values. I don't get that. I mean, that's a little bit of a literal interpretation, right? Something is knocked down to its foundation. These are your foundational boundaries. This could be a moment of enlightenment. It's definitely something that comes in quick that makes you see it differently. And that's what I'm going to say. Be very, very careful of the stories you tell yourself about this relationship. Because it could be that you've only been getting partial information and you're putting it together and you're getting 2 + 2 = 5. Right? Don't make me do math. There is this vibe here of saying, oh my God, and then something is revealed, and then you know whether or not it is in alignment with your values, if it's something that you really want. I mean, I'm not getting where it's like the person isn't telling you, I don't know, it's just with that Scorpio card. You never know with Scorpios. I mean, not that Pisces is always the most giving of their internal stuff too, right? Where Pisces is lovely when it's a dolphin, but when it's shark, you usually don't want to put the shark out there too much, but both exist. I know shark isn't a fish. Just working my metaphors here. I forgot what I metaphor. That Tower does concern me. It can certainly be an enlightening thing where suddenly things are crystal clear. But it is going to definitely break down some belief systems, some structures, perhaps some lies, illusions, deceptions, and delusions, either shared or on one side. Things clearly, but to really get grounded, what's more important? That's why honesty is so important to me. How can I make wise decisions if people aren't being honest here? If you don't tell me how you feel, I'm on a journey, I'm learning. Great, thanks. You want to hang out, you let me know. But I've got other things I gotta do because I'm in a lesson of expansion right now. So yeah, I can wait and chill for that, but I'm gonna go explore my world a little bit here. I don't wait for anybody anymore. I did that. I'll wait. No, you wait for me. Let's see. You end up, horrible way to say it, right? Last card down here. The Aquarian card, Ixchel, the Eagle Woman. I feel like once this hits, you're going to see the larger picture, and I think things are going to be revealed that you just could not have seen before. I don't think anybody's necessarily done anything wrong here, but people don't walk around with their hearts on their sleeves quite like Pisces can sometimes, right? Nor are they necessarily willing to always reveal what it is that they're going through, that they're on an internal journey. 9 of Flames, it's like they're almost there, right? They're almost at that 10 of Flames, which in this deck is the Hora, you know, Havana, Nagila, right? So I just feel like this is a timing thing going on here, but the truth is going to hit. So with that Aquarian card, it might be just that truth hitting, and then here's your womp womp, the 8 of Cups, you're walking away, and if not away from this person, then deeper into yourself. Yet what I'm getting here is a little bit different than that obvious interpretation. I think because things are on hold here and you're getting this Fool energy, right? Like underneath it all, there's this revelation to jump forward, right, into something new, and you're feeling it big time, but you're sort of being cool about it. Being, you know, emotionally controlled, maybe that's the right word, emotionally mature that way. But this is saying, all right, well, what's really important to me? What's my lesson? To find my expansion, right? My spiritual 9th house stuff is the lesson here. And I'm not going to cut you out of my life, but I am going to walk away for a little bit. Not just away from, witches don't run from, we run to, going inside yourself. This is Psyche of Eros and Psyche going into the underworld on an errand for her mother-in-law Aphrodite to get essentially some rapid wrinkle repair from Persephone in the underworld, among other tasks that, by the way, she does succeed in with a lot of help. This is going into your own interior world, and I think that's what gets you up into the third eye crown vibration here, fixed air, the stratosphere, where you see the larger picture here. So it's a to be continued. And I think that's what all of the readings were this time. They were all to be continued. I mean, look at the state of the world. We thought we were, oh, yay, we can. Oh, we can't yet? Oh, we're all ready to, like, I was going to buy my ticket to the Fire Island Ferries. I was going to go to the Pines, have a drink with a couple of friends, you know, go skinny dipping in the ocean, except now there are sharks, no bueno on Long Island. But it's like, nope, now I'm going to go visit my mom instead. Yeah. Change of plans. Okay. Two more cards. Yeah, I guess that's a good way to really look at all these readings this time with the womp womps at the end. It's like close but no cigar. Bummer. All right, Whispers of Love Oracle. Here we go. The party turner. Please take a nice deep breath. As I call to the beloved higher selves of all involved, not just the Pisces, everyone involved here in this Pisces collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Path of True Love read here. What is the whisper of love? The piece of information, inspiration, and insight most needed for the Piscean or whoever is watching this read to guide them through. What is this about? Help them with this revelation. What is this about for them on the path of true love? Act as if your partner is here, which indicates they ain't, and indicates that this is, if this person is not your partner, oh, go watch the video. It's in the description box. The meditation for the true lover. Oh, it makes me cry every time I do it. That's why I recorded it. Act as if your partner is here. Whether you have someone in your life or not, act as if they are with you. So you will always consider them, because the spiritual aspect of the path of true love, particularly if we're taking this in romantic context, although partner can mean more than that. Although not the way they're dancing with each other. Oh, no. That's not a Luke and Leia, at least not the first movie. This is a bit more of the romantic thing, a dance partner. Horizontal mambo, if I get my way. Definitely this is a situation where there is definitely something in the water, so to speak, between the two of you. A lot of water on the outside here. Definitely an emotional, empathic vibarino going on here, but not a lot of clarity. So talk to them on the inner, talk to them on the 5D, and if you do that meditation, it takes away the need to know who the person is. You're communing on a vibrational level, and you're going into the 8th chakra and above, where the two of you are always together. Go look at the links. I'm just going to leave that there. Act as if your partner is here, whether you have someone in your life or not. Act as if they are with you, so you will always consider them. So I don't think this... No, I know. This 8 of Cups is not about walking away from them. It's walking into yourself to really get higher up and perhaps see the larger lesson here of whether or not this is something you want to wait for. 3 of Wands, give your loyalty to. Because sometimes when we do that, it limits the expansion within us. But acting as if they are here, whether you focus on it being that person or not, you can say, I'm going to learn my lesson anyway. That even if this person is a messenger of true love, right? May not be the one, but might be a precursor. Someone who's helping me prepare for that, because they're in student mode, and everybody gets to be in student mode, right? That's fine. I don't get toxic anything here. What I get, though, is someone who is on a journey in their life to really learn some stuff. Obviously, the student. So you can communicate with this person, but feel it out. Where else could that energy be placed? Communicate on the inner to someone who is already scripted. Your souls are already contracted. And if it is this person, it is this person. If it's not, it's not. And that's what I did that video for. And every time I do that meditation, my heart wells up and I cry like the big Pisces moon that I am. Last card down. Healing Mantra Deck by Matt Kahn. Let's see what the Ascended Master's got to say about this. Breathe. You know, it's hard to keep yourself out of the readings when you're a Pisces moon, but I don't know. This could be any number of people. I mean, once somebody's no longer my student, and if the connection's there and it feels right, I'll date you. I'll give you a shot. I've done that a handful of times, but I will not get involved with one of my students, considering 99% of my students are female and I'm gay. It's a little bit easier than not. Take a nice deep breath. All right. The Ascended Masters have the path of true love, a warrior's path if ever there was one, right? It takes such courage and strength. But it's like walking into the furnace. It's like walking into the crucible. Every step, right? Being transformed, burning away that which is not love within us. These readings are about being loved, lower 3 chakra, being loving, heart, third eye crown, how we love others, and being the love we truly are, 8th chakra. So, Ascended Masters, what is the perfect healing mantra for this Piscean collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, timeless path of true love read involving a networker and a student? And your mantra is rewriting the subconscious. The more I embrace feeling good, the less often I will feel bad. Pisces, right? The more I ride the dolphin, the less I'll find myself riding the shark. Now, that doesn't mean you're not going to have your shark moments, but they will show up less, hence rewriting the subconscious. And there's something very subconscious here. And it's celebration. I think this feels really good. And I think the impulse is to jump into something new here. I just don't think they're ready. One of you's not ready. Again, the Pisces could be the student and the other person could be the networker. Only you can know that. Comment below. I mean, I'm serious. I want to see. Well, not everyone's going to do it. But it does feel like this could flip-flop either way. So let me read you what's on the card here. What's in the bookie book, as I like to call it. Not rewiring the nervous system, rewriting the subconscious. Watch me work them lips. Breathe. Rewriting the subconscious. The more I embrace feeling good, the less often I will feel bad. Lovely mnemonic device. When the subconscious is rewritten, you are able to feel good on a regular basis regardless of the way life unfolds. And so I'm going to say, try the meditation. Try the True Lover meditation in the description box. I think you'll dig it. In rewriting the subconscious, you reverse the gravitational pull of conditioning to become more familiar with the virtues of goodness. To reverse the gravitational pull of conditioning, meaning that you're a soul, an immortal being that came into this life and started absorbing the conditioning from your family, from society, let alone what's in the DNA, right? The ancestral patterning of guilt and shame and fear and all of that stuff handed down biochemically through our cells. Seriously, this is an intense lifetime we are in. So, my God, to reverse that, that's freedom. That's freedom. Whatever it is that you're feeling here may have nothing to do with this person, and I think that's what this Eight of Swords here from the outside looking in. So get to work. Get to work inside yourself. Do that healing work. Sculpt that clay inside of yourself. As goodness becomes more known, the opposite vibration of negativity can become a less frequent visitor to your reality. Right? So it's not saying, and I'll never feel bad again. No. No. I've never met a Pisces that wasn't an empath in some way, shape, or form. The world is going through hell in a handbasket right now, but it is the crucible. Huge alchemy. Heaven on earth anchoring, whatever. Elysia on earth, whatever you want to call it. So we're all in this transformative process, but on the path of true love, here's your opportunity to love yourself in a way like you never have before. That when you do think of this person and your heart lights up, instead of, yeah, they don't call me, just go, well, you know what? Let's take their name off of this. I like this vibe. I like this. May you be blessed, right? I love you. I love you as a brother, a sister, a family member of the Great One, you know, however you want to phrase that. Definitely a spiritual lesson going on here. The last bit. This mantra is ideal for relieving guilt, releasing shame, and finding joy in new beginnings. And I think that's the thing, the potential for a new beginning with this person, whether they are brand new to your life, Maybe you've been chatting online but haven't met face-to-face yet. I feel like with that student, this might be worth waiting for. Of course, your situation might depend on other factors here. But I think you're going to learn how you drive yourself crazy, right? Like what you do when you feel it, but it doesn't look it on the outside. There are definitely things being hidden here, but I feel like some of it's appropriate. Like, particularly if this is brand new. Like, if this is somebody that you have not met face-to-face with yet, it does have that romantic vibe on it, but the outcome is still the same. Really, go within yourself, see the larger picture, and rewrite your subconscious. Because when you see it from the higher heights, from that 8th chakra and above place, which is not the easiest to do, I'll be honest with that. It takes time and work and a willingness there. You will feel better. You will say, oh, this is all happening for me, not to me. And whether this person ends up being the partner, act as if your partner is here, I think you will find is irrelevant. That you can think what you're thinking and feel what you're feeling and release it from it having to be about them. They can be what's called a messenger of true love. They look like it, they feel like it, it's just know they are preparing you for it. Let me put this together for you in a blessing. Please take a nice deep breath. As I call upon my collective pantheons, please, may the Piscean collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading, be blessed with all that they need on the path of true love, that they may enhance unity through the sharing of information, engendering social awareness and empathy. Definitely a Piscean word there. With humility and devotion to knowledge and openness to lifelong learning, because the urge to communicate is high, and there is an offer of an opportunity possibly to meet in person, to get this on the road, as it were. But there is an internal journey with this student that crosses their path, and they're not necessarily being very communicative about it. In fact, they might be downright mysterious about what's going on here, at least from the outside looking in. But there is revelation to be had here, but it's being pushed down right now because it's the beginning of a whole new thing. It's that between the worlds moment, that leap of faith that we see appear later in the spread. And the connection here, I have to say, playful, unconditionally loving, very empathic, very prosperous, very solid, very Taurus energy, which shows up here in the Destiny position. Just saw that. So the crowning here is that if everybody can get out, there's a lesson here. We have to be the learner, and we're learning how to communicate with each other. We're learning how to gather information, beginning seeds of information, immature, meaning not childish, but like the beginning stages of, right? It's not a whole oak tree, it's an acorn, so to speak. But the gathering of information here and learning how much of it is true and how much of it is false, that really amplifies this sense of the dreamer, which is very Pisces energy anyway, but in terms of that fool, of really feeling and seeing and imagining and maybe even fantasizing about what this would feel like, but keeping it very upright, keeping it very Cancerian, behind shell and claw, maybe returning some of this mystery with their own mystery, putting forth someone who's a bit more emotionally stable, more Cancerian, but also very at home within their own skin. 4th house, dynamic Cancer, home, emotional home. With this Sagittarius expansive lesson on the inner, in the lesson here with this 3 of Wands, that they're reevaluating their priorities according to their freedom, that if they're feeling held up by this mystery going on here, to understand that they're not bound to this person, that they are really a divine being in human form, as we all are, and that they are learning as much as the student here, but their urge to communicate maybe needs to be done more through prayer and meditation, because from the outside looking in, yeah, there is potential here. There is perfect clay being sculpted, but it's not ready to be fired into something solid and then immutable, from mutable to fixed. Not ready for that yet. And with this 8 of Swords, between a rock and a hard place mentally, blindfolded and bound, not knowing what to do, for what's presenting on the outside, because the information's not flowing freely, nor do I think that's necessarily appropriate yet, depending on who's watching that, right? They may say, yes, it is, I want to know, but the path that you love, it's a mystical path, which means mystery. But that's okay. That lightning bolt is coming. Some structure is going to be destroyed, and it does feel like belief system, belief structure of what we thought this was. Nope. Oh, you do feel that way, or oh, you don't feel that way. But with this Taurus, it's really about somebody getting down to, know what I really value here, bedrock, is honesty. And, you know, you don't have to communicate all day long with me to just tell me how you feel. And that's of value to me, because I am willing to do that. I don't have to pitch over the head with it. I can Page of Pentacles, say, want to hang out? I want to hang out with you. And if they run, they run. And I don't necessarily think they're running. I think they're biding their time, taking this internal journey. But for whoever this is for, there's definitely a walking away and into the self here to see the larger picture, to really get up into that stratosphere, to see the GPS, the 8th chakra point of view, and their own higher self saying, act as if your partner is here, whether it's this person or not, whether you have someone in your life or not, whether this is whether this is the person or not. Act as if they are with you. So you will always consider them, even if it's not them. It will bring you into this whole other larger picture of what the lesson is here, to expand their scope. They are rewriting the subconscious, understanding that the more they embrace feeling good, dolphin, the less often they will feel bad, shark. That they are able to heal, that they are able to feel, that they are able to flow with this, the mutable water signs that they are, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, so that love may conquer all within them. And then maybe, should it be scripted for them, whether this is the one or this is a forerunner, a messenger of true love, that they may all heal, grow, and become the best that they can be, fulfilling their role in the divine plan, anchoring true love into planet Earth in a time where it's scripted for that to happen. But it is a journey for all involved. May we all be so blessed, and may the Pisces certainly be blessed on the path of true love for the well-being of all, and with harm to none, as we will it. So let it be done. So mote it be. And so it is. You want to go deeper? Book me. I'm a Pisces moon. I'll plug right in. I'll plug right in and read them for filth. And if not, go read my book, Words of Grace, $9.99 on Kindle. You can even preview it for free with the free Kindle app. Read the dedication to my mom. It's a bit of a tearjerker. I love my mom. And I love you, my fishy family, my mer people. So have at it. Reach out. Teach yourself. Communicate yourself. But keep it on the up and up. Bring it into alignment before it flies out your mouth or your digits in your device. Otherwise, wishing you the very best and the very blessed of the path of true love. My beloved fishies, lovely series. All of them except the Libra ended in womp womp, I'm pretty sure. Otherwise, wishing you all the very best and the very blessed of all of this, my beloveds. Now, farewell, and blessed be.